teams are so even. They've just had a grudge match on both these games, barely able to etch out a victory against one another. Super evenly paced and packed action. So it could be anybody's game. I don't know. If I knew how to win the game, I probably wouldn't be a caster. I'd be a professional player. Let's see what they decide to do.
Well, I mean, you're so damn good at casting, even if you were a professional player.
Girl, you trying to get me all buttered up? Get out of here.
First pick, Venge. Coming out from Apezone. They're going to ban out the Troll Warlord, so not going to pick that up in this one for Confessor. They banned the Lycan as they have in the previous two games. Rebeldes, once again, going to take out that Juggernaut, and they'll remove the Axe as well.
Yep, no axe, no jug. They're not forgetting who has kicked their booty in the past, so they want to get those guys out of there as well. Vengeful Spirit still surviving. Every game there's a Venge. Why? Is she really that good?
Yeah. For all intents and purposes.
Yeah.
I mean, to go a little bit deeper into it, she offers a hell of a lot. Extra damage in a very physically dominated meta. The minus armor as well helps in the team fights, not only with that, with melting Roshan pretty quickly, so it can allow you to sneak the Rosh. She's got the positioning ability of the swap, which pierces through BKB, which is great. So you can swap back your heroes even under the cover of spell immunity, and of course the early game has that magic missile for the disable. So pretty damn good support for sure.
For sure.
I put her right up there with Lion. I feel like right now in the metagame, Lion is probably the only stronger support.
They're just so boring to watch.
Venge is pretty boring, yeah.
Swapped. Oh, wow. Lion and Bad Rider. What do you know? We did see Rebeldes play Bad Rider, I think, in their first game.
It's a terrible pick.
Correct?
Yeah, it's a terrible pick into Avenge. It's an easy swap out every time you jump in for a lasso, so I really don't get why they picked that up, especially this early. Apezone's not going to ban out a Bat Rider when they have Avenge, so you can probably pick it up in the 5th pick. So, yeah, a little bit odd coming out, at least for my taste.
Yeah. I would say that maybe they had something up their sleeve, but yeah, to be honest, that first game with the Bat Rider really didn't do that much, and they still lost it pretty hard. So, I don't know. Apezone picked up again, and we're seeing like they want to do a repeat Apezone of their first engagement here. Or was Apezone on the right team? Yes, he was.
Speaking of boring heroes.
Yeah. Hey, Apezone could be exciting, though. I mean, those freaking Apothec shields, the big saves, huge. And he is a great counter to Bat Rider as well.
Yeah.
He can just Apothec shield off the lasso.
Certainly early on, he's very... has some big play potential, but later into the game, I feel like he just kind of stands around. But either way, he does help with the Roshan a bit, Curse of the Avernus, increasing the attack speed of your entire lineup. So that's pretty nice.
Only players, chose their heroes based on what casters wanted to have fun casting.
Right. I mean, that should really be how Dota is driven, but either way.
Right.
Stupid Twitch chat and Dota community pro players. Who needs them? Love you guys. Love you guys, Twitch chat.
I love you. I would never say something like that, Twitch chat. So, don't lump me in with this guy over here. Meanwhile, they're panning the Faceless Void. We haven't seen Faceless Void. At least Faceless Void's exciting to watch, right?
Yeah, certainly so. And it would be nice for Apezone as they already have the Vengeful Spirit, so they're not too worried about someone throwing a wrench into the plans of the Chronosphere. So definitely would be nice. It has been banned out by Rebeldes a couple of times here, so definitely nice to take out. Not sure if Apezone plays it too often. I haven't seen it too much lately, so.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Well, Brewmaster banned as well. The Brew did play quite well a few games ago, so I can see why they're doing that. But it looks like both of them are just kind of ignoring the game that they just had. We have yet to see oh, there's the Shadow Fiend ban. Thank goodness. And the Storm Spirit. So, yep, they have not forgotten the last game we just played, and they're both banning out their big heroes from that last engagement.
Yeah, definitely so. Lion already there is a pretty damn good support for Rebeldes. We'll see who they couple him up with into this Vengeful Spirit Abaddon. They're actually going to get the Medusa very early on, so they are going to need some physical damage in addition to what they have, as the Bat Rider Lion are not going to offer too much in the way of physical damage. Stone Gaze, of course, does supplement physical damage. It increases the physical damage done. So we'll see if they want to take this late for Rebeldes already. Apezone going to pick up this Sniper, as you mentioned, pretty good in terms of high ground defense, and certainly can position himself well with a Vengeful and an Abaddon backing him up.
You don't see a lot of Medusas picked, and you don't see a lot of Medusas picked third. You want to usually be like your big surprise. Oh, Medusa!
Yeah.
Because now Apezone knows, okay, well, there's no way we want to get into the late game. So let's do as many early game guys as possible and see if we can have a super push. So far, their lineup is pretty good for that. They do have Abaddon and Venge, which put out a lot of early game hurt. So does Sniper. He does great in all parts of the game, early, mid, and late. So, I don't know.
Yeah, they are going to pick up some physical, as I mentioned, so that's going to help out with the Stone Gaze in the Sleight of Fist spams coming out from the Ember. Haven't seen too much Ember recently, definitely one of my favorite heroes to watch and play, so it'll be interesting to see if HFN is good on this in the mid. Has looked pretty good on his Shadow Fiend, a little bit lackluster on his PA in Game 1, but Apezone going to pick up one of the best, if not the best counter to Stone Gaze in the game in the Centaur Stampede.
Really? Why is it that good? You could just turn around and run, but
yeah, you just waste the cooldown pretty much every time and then re-engage. So it's pretty nice up against the Dusa, and of course the high ground defense is very good from both sides with the Stone Gaze and the positioning ability of Apezone here. So it'll be interesting who sees or who is able to get their momentum going in the mid game. I feel like that team will probably be the ones to win. And so far with heroes very mobile like the Ember and the Bat Rider, it looks like Rebeldes maybe with a bit more of a chance to have pickoffs happen in this mid game. But if they couple something up with this Centaur for either the mid or safe lane that has a little bit of an aggressive nature here, Apezone definitely have the potential to do so as well.
What would you go for here if you were Apezone?
Well, it depends where they want to put this Sniper. I would expect him to go towards the mid lane, and then in that case, you probably want to go something a little bit more aggressively natured support, or hard carry, I should say. Maybe something like a Sven, perhaps something. Even the Bristleback isn't too bad here, but I feel like they need a little bit more late game potential. They don't have too much global presence, but if they roam one around with the Centaur, like the Vengeful, and then they go for something like a Spectre, they can add certainly to that. And definitely Spectre is one who is able to fight up against Medusa. Late game, Juggernaut banned out, he would be a nice aggressive hard carry for them to go for. But something along those natures for Apezone. I'm not sure what Rebeldes are going to look to pick up. It definitely is going to be a support here, unless they go maximum greed and put something in the jungle.
What about a Nyx Assassin? He's pretty good against Medusa, and he would put all of that early game pressure that we were talking about if they really don't want to go to late. I don't know. That's maybe what I would go for.
It's not bad. They could put the Centaur in the safe lane, get an early blink up on him. Nyx in the offlane is not a bad offlaner at all. And he's very good against the Bat Rider as well. So I wouldn't mind that pickup from Apezone. As you mentioned, though, is going to put a timing window on them. Definitely can't take it late with a Nyx Centaur Sniper versus a Medusa Ember. Wow.
Ooh, a Huskar and a Wisp. Okay. Wisp, a very interesting pick. It looks like they are going to be... can you explain that to me? I don't know. What the hell is a Wisp going to do here?
Wisp Ember is decent, but Ember definitely doesn't right-click, so more often than not, you're going to see this IO stick on the Medusa. And in that case, isn't really the greatest until Medusa starts to get a couple of her big items up. So a little bit of an odd choice. There is a decent amount of physical damage coming out from Rebeldes, which counters up Huskar quite heavily, but it does do very well versus the Lion for sure. So very interesting pick for Confessor here. They are going to look to probably end this earlier rather than later up against the Medusa with a Sniper Huskar dual core. So yeah, very, very odd pick is the IO in this one. They really don't have any great relocate partners with the IO either, so perhaps just looking to buff up this Dusa.
Yeah, and they needed to make sure that they didn't lose the early and mid game. And Io's biggest strength is kind of that late game or mid game. He just gets torn apart if you have the right kind of lineup against him. So
yeah,
I don't know if I agree with this Io pick at all. But hey, maybe they'll prove me wrong. Well, I can tell you who's on both teams if you like. We got QQQ heading up on your Medusa coming out from Team Radiant. Cat is going to be your Lion. We got CYS as your Ember Spirit. And Pluck as your Wisp. Meanwhile, alone in the top, we've seen him before, we'll see him again. It's Luposa, their resident offlaner. He's going to be on your Bat Rider.
Yeah, once again from the game one, picking up that Bat Rider. We'll see Yugi go towards the offlane for the side of 8 on the Centaur War Runner, and a 4-man movement from the rest of their lineup. Confessor on the Huskar, GKTA on the Abaddon, Dan on the Sniper, once again as he was in game 1, and Banana King, of course the leader of the Apes, on the Vengeful Spirit.
The King of Bananas, the leader of the Apes. Meanwhile, who we got here? Centaur doesn't even want the Yugi, their resident offlaner. He doesn't want anything. He just wants to survive here. We got a 4 men on the top rune. They're going to want to secure that pretty easily. And man, I'm scared of this Huskar. We've seen Confessor play the Juggernaut. He was great. I forget who we played last game. Well, I'm sure he did fine.
Yeah, Troll.
He was who?
Troll.
He was Troll? Yeah, he did all right. But Huskar, oh god, the horror. I'm so scared of Huskar.
Come in handy.
I don't know how to beat him.
I mean, physical damage is usually how you bring him down, right? But with the Vengeful Spirit on their side and the Medusa not going to come online, so to speak, as to a little bit later on, Huskar should have a very good time in this one. So will be interesting pick. Definitely a feast or famine pick, and if he's not able to get some traction under his heels, I do worry for the side of Ape to scale. But as we alluded to in the draft, they're definitely not looking to take this too late.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to just run the Wisp as a straight-up stacking and mid-Wisp. He's already got the jungle cleared out for him, so he's got easy stacks, and he'll be trying to get that Medusa online as quick as possible. Meanwhile, solo Lion versus a Yugi down at the bottom. What do you think of that matchup?
Yeah, a little bit odd. They do have the CYS's Ember Spirit here as well, but I don't know if they'll have too much kill potential onto Yugi. He hasn't been the most standout player, to say the least, for Ape thus far, so I'm not really going to look for any too big plays from this offlane, but I don't feel like he should get killed either unless he really oversteps, considering that they have the Wisp to rotate in.
Yeah, looks like Apezone is going to be pulling the creeps out, trying to deny any kind of farm here from Leposa. Batrider's not too worried about that, though. As long as he gets about level 2, he can still run around their jungle and do a lot of crazy stuff, so he should be just fine there. Looks like in the bottom lane, though, Yugi is not putting as much power as he could on this Ember Spirit. Ember does not really have a lot of health early game. There's the stop, and he does not have a point in the double edge yet, opting for that return damage, so... Was that a good move? I don't know. I wouldn't get a return in this lane, personally. I'd go straight up damage, but what do I know?
Yeah, offlaner usually build at least one level in return.
Say goodbye
Well,
to your
all
head.
3 charges of that shrapnel use mid lane, and Dan gonna find the first kill of the game. Yep, all 3 charges use 500 damage done via those to the Medusa, and that's a big kill going the way of the sniper. They're already gonna bring her down low, and as we mentioned, a lot of their potential in the late game is going to be on the back of HFN in this one, as it was in the other games.
Yeah, well, Medusa is the first person out. That's definitely the opposite of what they wanted to do. And if they can just keep forcing that Medusa death, they might have a chance here in this game.
Yeah, definitely so. GKTA rotating around with a haste rune. Not going to do too much, just posturing up defensively behind Dan for now. And maybe he goes for a dual offlane with this Centaur. But either way, Yugi looking pretty survivable. They are going to get the tether move speed. The steering chain's going to land. They have the Earth Spike as well. Hex is going to be there first. This should be a kill onto the offlaner. It will be so with that extra MS. Able to get CYS in range for the chains.
Should we look at the top net worth? We got Sniper leading it up quite well. And in the last hits, we've got Ember Spirit, though. So we're seeing some stuff. I'm a little worried about that Huskar. He is completely up there alone to do anything that he wants, and that is the worst thing you could possibly do. I mean, Huskar will just go crazy on you in the early and mid game with those burning spears.
Yeah, and they've already been in the jungle a bit. 1 stack here in the small camp. It's going the way. Another stack, unfortunately, Mud Golems, and another large camp stacked as well for Apezone. So, leaving that Huskar in lane alone has allowed their supports to find a little more. Speaking of their supports, Banana King rotating around mid with a magic missile. They're going to have TPs inbound, however, from the Lion, and HFN will be just fine for the time being. Apezone, not able to contribute anything to this, has walked towards that bot lane, but they do know that the Lion is out of lane now, and that'll cue some aggression for Yugi. He's going to look to find Plock. Plock going to probably tether back to the units here if need be. He'll be just fine, but either way, Apezone rotating in, and without the Lion here, Cat is now rotating to the south again, but they'll be very survivable with the Centaur and GKTA, and they should be able to soak up a bunch of these creeps from the Radiant side.
Money changes hands.
Not too much going on so far, as we see another kind of passive game, only 1-1 right now from both teams. We're going to see a little bit of an initiation again on Yugi. I'm sure he'll be fine with the Apezone there to help him out. So the action is at a lull right now, but I'm sure Huskar is getting ready to change that as soon as he gets level 6.
It is, isn't it? But either way, Leposa picked up almost level 4 on the Batrider, and is about at parity with Yugi in terms of experience. In terms of the last hits, about the same as well. 5-1 of the Centaur to the 4-1 of Liposo. So neither offlane are having a great time, but neither of them doing extremely poorly either. So as you mentioned, Confessor finding a lot of farm on the Huskar, but CYS finding a little more on the Ember. Aphotic Shield keeps Yugi healthy for now. Mistcoil will be there as well. And this dual lane, certainly I'm a fan of it from Ape, as Huskar hasn't really been pressured at all in the top lane.
Yeah, absolutely. And meanwhile, will they actually be able to get a kill? Huskar's almost level 6. He's bare. If he got level 6 right now, this would be a kill, right? But he's still looking for some stuff. He's got the burning spears. He's doing his best to try to catch up. The Bat Rider is going to be looking to maybe get some camps here and stack up a little bit, get some more health. He notices that this is blocked up, so that ain't going to happen for him. And the action continues to not happen.
Yeah, definitely very stagnant early game here. We will see a Shrapnel popped out mid lane. Wisp going to come in for HFN, and they're going to put some harassment into Dan. He should be just fine, though. They don't really have the potential to chase him down. He's going to actually try to assassinate up the Wisp here. Plock going to be able to bottle up, however. Does drop a fairly low, but not quite enough. Banana King is going to scout out. Liposa's trying to farm up a big stack here. Should be able to do so fairly reliably. He brings actually a lot of them low, and Ape probably going to let Dan finish this off with some shrapnel. So Bat Rider taking a little bit of economical damage into Ape, but they're just going to be fine to farm that up for their mid laner.
Yeah, I was just about to ask why they were stacking camps with that Bat Rider in the top lane, but I guess that maximum shrapnel has been used pretty competitively to eat those stacked up camps. So, yeah, that would be explaining it. Meanwhile, Wisp with the haste rune, expect to see some crazy initiation by this Wisp with the haste. He sees the Huskar. Will he go in? Surprisingly, no.
Yeah,
I'm
not
sure
much
that Wisp was going to solo kill him, but no.
in the way of aggression from Plock. Does have all those spirits available to him. Very odd that he didn't go in there, but either way.
Come on, man.
Confessor full set of treads, probably building into an early earn. Pretty damn good item on Huskar, and allows you not to have to skill that inner vitality too early on. Bottom lane, Cat is looking to find perhaps this Centaur postured up into the trees. He is going to wrap around now. Searing Chains is going to be there from CYS. The Hex is there. Flame Guard taking him down. Impale. They'll finish him off. TP's a little bit too late from GKTA. And actually, no one finding the last hit on that Centaur kill, but still a nice second kill on this Centaur already. And Liposa retreating to the jungle is going to do a little bit better than his laning counterpart in the Centaur.
Oh, Yugi. Oh, sweet, sweet Yugi. When will you stop dying? But we wait for that to happen.
It's a question many have asked in Twitch chat. But either way...
Sorry. I
Lasso
interrupted you again.
Up. Not at
I'm just
all.
I'm
Not
trying to
all,
find
good
something
sir.
interesting to talk about. Nothing really happening still.
There's a lasso on this Bat Rider. CYS diving a little bit deep in the bot lane. Still has the Flame Guard for the next little bit. GKTA going to look to chase him down, but he's going to drop a Remnant and try and TP out. And the Hoof Stomp not going to be there from Yugi. So he will be able to return right back to this lane momentarily as he remnants back in. Smart play from him. And he's not even going to catch a Hoof Stomp for his troubles.
We're seeing a max level on Mystic Snake coming out from Medusa. She's going to pick up an Invis here. Invis with Mystic Snake. She could very well kill Vengeful Spirit if she nets that out, that snake. I want to see it. I want to see the Viper come out.
She's probably going to look to farm up some stacks here. Has 2 levels in the split shot, so going for more of that burning, farming-oriented build. Meanwhile, Yugi once again going to do Yugi things. And he's dead in the bot lane. GKTA dropping low as well. Doesn't have his borrowed time, but a jump forward from Confessor is going to force the Ember Spirit back. CYS going to catch a Wave of Terror on the way out, but this forces rotations over from Confessor. Dan rotating in from the mid lane, though. No mana available on that Ember. He'll pick up a bounty before dying, but very nice solo kill going the way of the Sniper. And Dan now going to look to snowball a bit off that.
Yep. Well, that's okay, because they got a free farming Wisp in the top lane, just eating it up. He's got a bottle. He's got an Observer Ward and 2 branches. So this Wisp could go crazy at any moment.
He's rich.
Keep your heads. Yeah, he's rich.
Let's take a look at the net worth. He's a top of the 4 supports, and even above Yugi's Centaur. So yeah, this Wisp, very rich.
Even above Yugi? Wow! This guy's trying to steal this Dan's farm, and Dan says, how about you don't steal my farm? As he shoots him to death for his attempts, and there he goes. He's going to clean up the farm anyway. Batrider, very, very risky plays there. I don't think they have any vision in that jungle at all.
If we have any young kids on the stream looking to become a Dota 2 pro, if someone tries to steal your stacks, just shoot them to death. It's just that simple,
Shoot them
right?
to death.
Just shoot them to death.
Someone comes on your lawn, shoot them to death. You're allowed to do that in Colorado, not in Canada. Meanwhile,
Jump
on the bottom
forward
lane,
from
initiation by
Confessor,
Confessor.
yeah.
That was a bit much for him. He's dead.
Yeah, he did. But either way, he actually took down the Medusa though. Burning
Wrecked.
Spears bring down the Medusa. No experience going his way, but still a nice little influx of gold. Overall net change plus 42 gold for that Huskar. Big win.
Wow! Stanton Dan. He's shooting towers. He's got the fire coming out in this tower.
Needs to
It
be
could go
careful.
down in a second. We got an initiation by Ursher. The Stinky Pinky takes out the Sniper, and Sniper is gonna go down to the Wisp. Io! I told you to keep your eye on this kid. He's on fire. The balls going ham on Sniper's little body. That fool just got Wisp teabag.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to say that?
Top, sure, why not? Stampede through Liposa top lane. He's going to lasso up Yugi, but Huskar should be able to bring him down. Yugi dropping really low, will be able to stick up for the time being. Burning Spear is going to tick down the Batrider. CYS, though, with the Spirit Bomb, is going to finish off the Centaur. Jump forward from Confessor. He should be able to bring down the Ember very easily, and Burning Spears will be able to do so. And so nice double kill going Confessor's way. He's now 3-1-1 on that Huskar.
Yep, that is going to be pretty close to an armlet, if not just the armlet. Yep, is that an armlet? I think he's done. And if there's one thing I know about Huskars, it's that once they get the armlet, the game's over. He'll never die again.
Yeah, pretty much. So, GG, well played to Rebeldes. But either...
At 10 minutes. Too late.
Yeah, they're going to look to take the T1 for sure. And Cat probably going to try to deny this up. He's got support inbound from Liposa. No lasso available, though. Dan is going to scout out the Lion with his shrapnel charges here. And the deny should be able to be made by this Lion here. One right click from the Sniper. Actually, no attempt made from Cat's Lion. Relocate mid lane from the Wisp solo. And really scary, obviously. Backs the Sniper right away.
For sure. Sorry to interrupt.
Wisp got balls. Definitely so. And Yugi finally going to find some space in the bot lane. Hopefully he doesn't die. But he is 0-4-4. Currently on the Centaur, 600 gold to his name. Nowhere near his blink quite yet. Liposa's blink progress quite a ways there. And he is 2k gold. So only 250 away from that. When he picks up this Satyr, he'll be very close to that. Which is a nice pickup. Still a little bit late, however, for Rebeldes 13 minutes in.
Yep, 13 minutes in. A little late, but we'll see if they can still survive. That is going to be the armlet on the Huskar. So only more pain and misery come in the way of RBD. Yep, Wisp is all alone in the top again. He's getting that free farm that he wants. Oh wait, no, I can't seem to see Ember Spirit this game. I never notice him. So I guess that's good for him.
Very elusive is the Ember. They'll drop back a ward. Very deep vision given to the Radiant side here. GKTA going to posture up pretty defensively here. Nice triple stack of Ancients. Gonna perhaps be farmed up here by the Sniper and Banana King. He's not the best Ancient farmer by any stretch, but will be able to get a large gold influx here. Top lane, GKTA been aggressed on by a CYS. He's got 2 spirits available, so he's not too worried about aggressing forward. Borrowed time gonna be popped. Hoof Stomp is there. They got the double edge as well. Miss Coil, Stampede, he'll just zip out. And a lot of TPs committed, yeah.
Jesus, 4 TPs on probably one of the hardest person to kill in the entire game. So not too good, but Sniper is still just farming up that Ancient stack, so he's not worried at all. He is going to rotate in and try to defend this mid, and he will do that quite easily.
The Wisp is smoked up in the mid lane. Be very afraid.
Oh my god, Wisp going in under tower! Wisp wants it! He going in! No line! He's got the Stinky Pinky! Dan is dead from the Batrider. Wisp! Incredible!
All
there
Wisp.
He goes.
It was all Wisp. Bot lane, yeah, or top lane. You definitely got it right. Jump in, zip out. Very simple engagement there. Confessor gonna take some damage to that Searing Chains. He'll pick up the last hit on the tower, however. Still has the armlet available, as well as the life break to jump in, but not too much. in the way of mana here, and he's actually going to stand pretty aggressively forward in lane, but there is no support inbound from the side of Rebeldes, so he should be just fine to do so.
Everybody keep your eyes on that Wisp. The guy's got crazy plays. I don't know where Standing Block gets the call, but he's everywhere he needs to be. He's playing very well, and it sounds like I'm being sarcastic, but I'm not. The guy's playing great.
Yeah, he is. He hasn't really made too many missteps thus far, and they did replace Ned after game 1 for Plock, so seems to have worked out for them thus far.
Yeah, Plock is earning his place in the team. Sniper Dan once again on that tower defense, doing what he can to keep that alive. Last time it didn't work out too well for him. They had a 4-man rotation. He's going to deny the bottom, and he's going to move on out. They are certainly pretty tied up so far. They have all the tier... Well, no, the towers are exactly the same. The kills are exactly the same. The experience and the gold, not so much, but hey,
it's damn close. It's damn close. A nice experience lead going Rebeldes' way, but gold lead pretty much negligible. They have picked up the Blink Dagger on Liposa, however, and now we'll be able to use some aggression off of that range of initiation. But with a Medusa and a Wisp on your side, you don't necessarily have the best ganking squad, and they really need to wait for the Finger of Death more often than not to go around ganking, which is still on cooldown for another 50 seconds.
Now, I just don't understand why Team Ape isn't going a little bit more crazy here. I mean, It is 15 minutes. You got a guy with an armlet on your team. I mean, they got to keep up the pressure. If they don't, things are not going to be good. They can't. They're kind of on a super big time limit, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely so. And unfortunately, Yugi hasn't been able to pick up a Blink, so perhaps that's what they're waiting for. He's only 400 gold away from it, so we'll have it fairly soon. But still, yeah, you really need to make use of your Huskar when he's most effective. And that is about, 3 or 4 minutes from now. So they need to start finding some pickoffs. Perhaps get him up at BKB as well. And he doesn't really need it at this point. There's not too much magical damage to worry out. So perhaps a Linken's for that lasso. But either way, certainly do need to cue some aggression coming out from Ape here. And perhaps with the pickup of the Blink on the Centaur that's inbound, they will be able to do so.
Yep, here comes a Ember Spirit right in the middle of nowhere here. He is going to get jumped on, and he should have gotten instantly stunned, but not a quick enough trigger finger on that Venture Spirit. That would have been an easy kill, probably. And unfortunately, the king himself, the Banana King, not able to get that magic missile.
So he's a Russian Banana King, is he?
Magic missile. I can't do her voice.
Have a nice
I've been trying.
And
my wig!
Either way, Confessor pretty far forward in this top lane. Needs to be a little bit careful. Relocate in mid. Lasso out onto Dan. And they will bring in the Medusa to try and kill Sakura. But Plock on the Wisp once again finds the last hit. 2-0-3 on the Wisp.
I told you gotta keep your eyes on this Wisp. It's
greediest,
damn full.
Greediest Wisp player ever, obviously. But either way, is going to port HFN back into the jungle. Medusa's been totally unchecked in this one, and Ape needs to be very, very concerned with this unless they start to find some aggression soon. It looks like it'll be a Halberd build for Confessor. That's a great item choice up against the Medusa, who generally does not build BKB, and they are going to rely heavily on her. Ember Spirit also not a BKB builder in general, so Halberd pretty good on him as well. And there will be a Manta style eventually from HFN, but I actually believe that doesn't dispel Halberd. I think the only thing that does is spell immunity, if I recall correctly. So yeah, it's definitely a very nice pickup for Confessor, but still, as you mentioned, they really need to start finding some aggression.
Yep, they absolutely need to keep things going here, and they need to kick it into a whole different gear. The farming time is over. Please, start killing at Medusa. She's already got way too much farm for what she needs to have at this point, and they have got to do some crazy plays. What does Medusa got? All right, got the Yasha, and $4,000 in the bank. Is she going to go for the Radiance, Medusa, or what's she doing?
Probably we'll see a Scotty. Yeah, I don't know why she's holding on
Radiance
to this much right now. They have a decent illusion clear with the double edge, the wave of terror, the shrapnel, so perhaps not a Manta quite yet for that Yasha, but definitely can pick up a couple of ultimate orbs. We'll see what the choice is. She'll just continue to farm here. Mid lane, they will jump in onto the Ember Spirit. Finally, they'll be able to bring him down under a chain of CC. Double Edge going to finish the job there. That's the first usage of the Blink on the Centaur. So Blink Stomp magic missiles enough to bring him down. And immediate smoke. Who smoked? Coming out from Confessor and GKTA. So they are going to look to go at least into Roshan here, and definitely they need to start queuing the aggression. So this is a nice first step, picking off the Ember, going towards that Rosh, and then with the Rosh advantage, perhaps pushing into at least tier 2s, if not high ground.
Yep, hopefully they'll be able to make some kind of play here. Again, these guys are being super aggressive for the kind of lineup that you have. As you were saying, the Wisp is doing some work. So, oh, there we go. Rosh is good.
Yep.
And we'll hopefully see something come out of that.
Yeah, definitely will queue a push here, at least on this tier 1. If not, they'll continue to go forward, and I expect them to do so. With the Stampede available in 30 seconds, they should be able to queue a push up against that Stone Gaze. Full Scotty, though, completed up for this Medusa, 19 minutes in. Treads Yasha Scotty, looking very good, 10k net worth on the Medusa.
Alright, and we see the bottom tower finally go down to Team Ape. They're starting to get a little bit of aggression. We see a 5-man wall them up. They're balling up. They're ready to fight, hopefully. And we'll see some big team fights that they really need to push right here. They are going to, looks like, yep, they're going to pressure that tier 2 as well. See what they can get on that. And boys, come on. We need to see the team fights. Let's go. The other team says no. RBD says take the bottom. We're going to take your mid. We'll trade off. No worries. They want to try to avoid these team fights for as long as possible.
It's the right decision considering RBD's lineup. It'll be interesting to see if Ape just wants to go high ground or if they look to go back and defend this. They do have a little bit quicker push at this point in the game, but they are going to look to mount a defense. TPs are inbound. Yugi has an Invis Rune. He's going to blink forward to totally whiff the stomp on everyone. He'll use the Stampede. GKTA will have his borrowed time popped. He'll be just fine for now. Shrapnel is going to jump into 3, but it looks like most of Ape just backing off. They left Huskar alone in that bot lane. Confessor with no TP available to him, or perhaps it was cancelled by the Flame Break, but either way, I'm not going to look to find a team fight, and this game will continue to be absolutely invigorating in terms of the team fights.
Come on! You gotta force a team fight! It's 8-8, Medusa has a Scotty! It's 20 minutes, she got a Scotty! Ape deserves to lose this game. If they don't do some pressure, they've got to do something crazy.
Yeah. And they picked up the Halberd as well now, so they can disarm that Medusa, and that's going to be the bulk of the damage from RBD. So, yeah, they really do need to find something. The Lasso's still a little bit scary, but they have the Aegis on their Huskar, and more often than not, he'll be the Lasso target, if not the Sniper. So, they will finally aggress towards this mid lane, going to use the Shrapnel to scout things out. And they'll see that it's pretty safe here. No glyph available as well. Relocate to the top lane is with HFN and Plock. They're going to join up with COIS to try and split push, but their tier 2 going to go down much faster. And we'll probably see an aggression towards high ground.
They have got to take a barracks right now. This is their chance. The Wisp is going to TP them way out of position. They're right on the barracks, and they are going to do it. Thank God! They're going to push. They're going to push. They're hopefully going to get something out of this. And they leave one guy up at the top. Your Medusa is still up top. She's TPing in now. And this is the fight they need to take. This tower is going to be gone. Confessor is going to be dragged back. Not a big deal. He does have the Aegis. Will they go in and dive after him? They do. Yugi manages to get a nice stun off. Abaddon's ult is already down. Confessor lives, and he still has the Aegis. He's still got the armlet. He's ready to go. He has turned to stone, but he doesn't care. He's got to stay in there. Take the barracks. Shoot the barracks, Dan. And Dan is shooting the barracks. Indeed, Confessor still alive. They're keeping him alive for so long. Stinky Pinky going out on the Abaddon. Confessor still alive. They haven't knocked down a single person for RBD. This is not a good use of the Aegis. You would think that he would at least get one guy out. Yugi back in. Big stomp. Big jump. Wisp. Team leader down. Yugi. He's got low health. Damn it, Confessor so slow from that Scotty. So very slow. Dan decides to run in right in the middle of everybody. Sniping sniper. And he's good. Standing, he used the halberd. He's back on the Medusa. He's trying for the Medusa. The best way to fight somebody is right under both of their tier 4 towers, and he both go down. The Sniper and the Lion are the only ones left alive. Stinky Pinky is on cooldown. Can Dan right-click this
high
tower?
ground, please, Dan. Please, Dan, stand on the high ground.
Come on, Dan. Oh, Dan's getting hit by the Lion. Could it be? The support gonna knock out Dan. Dan's shooting. He's a frog, and he's dead. No barracks. No nothing. Wait a minute. Big Nipples! Captain Nipples going in! Go, Ogre Magi, go! Oh, they're using the launch still on the Ogre! Go, Ogre Magi, go! No. Ogre Magi with these big manly nips, not able to take.
The manliest nips I've ever seen, and probably the most exciting part of the game was that Ogre Magi there, but unfortunately not going to be able to bring down that Rax, and to no avail. Ape going to feed over quite a bit. They do get the kill onto the Medusa, but it takes them quite a bit of an investment there. And so, still, Rebeldes looking pretty good. They do get a little bit, though. Liposa probably going to feed his life over as well. He'll be able to force staff, not quite to the low ground. He'll get swapped back up. Double edge is there. Hoof stomp as well. And a nice synergy of abilities from Yugi and Banana King there. Looking pretty good. They'll pick off Liposa. He's down for 50 seconds without buyback. We'll see if they look to go right back to the high ground. Yugi's pretty low, however. Does have the Tranquils, so we'll be able to regen up pretty quickly. You're going to get a Miscoil as well. And it looks like they're balling right back up mid. And I don't mind this decision at all from Ape.
Yep, that is pretty goofy that he went for that huge risk for no reason. He had stack camps in his own camp. Why did he have to try to take theirs? I don't know. He's down for 20 seconds, and without hardly... Wow, look at that regen on the barracks. We were just over there, had like 2 health. It's already almost back up to health. It ain't gonna matter, though, as I slowly right-click that, just because that Bat Rider decided that he just had to try to steal some stacks in the other jungle.
Yeah, Roche not up for quite a little while now, so at the very minimum about 2.5 minutes. But they will get that range racks, and that'll help them at least a little bit to stifle the farm of the Medusa, as well as force her over to that lane, as they don't have the greatest wave clear, other than who they do have the Ember Spirit, but he's going to want to farm as well. He has picked up his Battle Fury, however, so we'll be able to accelerate his farm. That's a pretty decent timing. Probably picked this up a couple of minutes ago, unnoticed to me, but either way, 3-man smoke, Liposa, CYS, and Cat certainly have some kill potential with the Finger of Death level 2 online and the Blink Lasso. But they may run into almost a full lineup of Ape here. Liposa going to be the first one. Jump forward. He'll be able to blink away from the stomp. Stampede will be there, though. Swap back onto CYS. Big Sleight of Fist into 4, but CYS going down. And the Stone Gaze goes out onto the entire lineup of Ape. Dan, though, nicely positioned, is going to be able to right-click the Medusa from here. Hoof Stomp going to be hitting from the low ground. Relocate saves the Medusa for now. It's overall a 2-for-1. Ember Spirit and the Lion going down for the Vengeful. But the relocate was to the top lane, and this may have been scouted out. Not exactly 100% sure. Yugi just going to look to clear up the wave for now, and it doesn't look like Ape going to look to go high ground without their Vengeful. Either way, no Roshan available to either team, so really not a big deal. Just an Ember Spirit being gotten by Ape is kind of a nice pickup for them.
Yep, that was the perfect thing for them. They got that double damage on Sniper, and he was just able to wreck as long as he could before he got Stone Gazed. So he took out just a lot of damage on that team. Very unfortunate for them, but it's not that big of a deal. They didn't really take anything out of that, so what are you going to do?
Yeah, definitely so. Dan going to pick up his full Mjolnir just before that engagement. Was able to put the buff on the Huskar on the high ground there, but 1,400 gold in addition to that. The Eagle Horn now picked up, or Eagle Song I should say, now picked up by HFN, and he'll be able to build a Butterfly very soon. Don't know that they really have an answer for this quite yet, so that'll be a very big pickup for the Medusa. And as you mentioned, Ape still need to start queuing aggression before they give HFN too much room. He's already got almost a 3k, 2,500k gap, 2.5k gap over the Sniper in terms of net worth.
Yeah, but I mean, let's not forget about the objectives. They still have 2 tier 2 towers that are on Team Dire. Yeah. Team Radiant is already down a barracks. They've got only 1 outer tower to try to defend, and it looks like this whole team is going to be going into the bottom now. They're going to try to put as much pressure on these guys and make sure that Medusa does not get 20 more minutes, because that's really all she needs. 15 minutes, 20 more minutes, and this game is not going to be looking good.
Yeah, I mean, even as she completes up the Butterfly, she's going to be infinitely harder to kill for the Sniper and the Huskar. They don't have really any magical burst aside from the Life Break and the Double Edge coming out from the Centaur. So she'll definitely be hard to kill, especially with the Wisp relocate available to her. About a minute until Roshan comes back up. Roshan respawn, Roshan.
Roshan on the Roshan.
But either way, 4,200 gold onto Confessor. He may be able to pick up something fairly soon. And the full Butterfly, 28 minutes already coming out for HFN's Medusa.
God. This Medusa is getting so much farm for what an aggressive team they have. A Scotty and a Butterfly before 30 minutes. That's ridiculous for the amount of early game aggression that these guys could have put on. So they're waiting for the Roche. It looks like it's going to be a little bit of a later Roche. Roche taking his sweet, sweet time coming back to the battlefield. Meanwhile, top being pushed out pretty darn aggressively. They are going to have to TP somebody back, even though they're not going on the tower, but they couldn't have known that. And their main damage agitator, their Sniper, forcing the TP back to defend the barracks.
Yeah, so at the very least, this is going to delay the push coming out from Apezone, and it looks like the key timing they're waiting for is that next Roshan. They're keeping it constantly scouted out with Banana King's Wave of Terror, and it did just spawn, unfortunately for him, right after he threw that in. But they know it should be up fairly soon, as it wasn't the earliest spawn possible, so probably going to look for that as their cue to go high ground here. But the more they stall, the more time it gives to HFN. And as you mentioned, Yasha, Scotty, a Butterfly, certainly nothing to shake a stick at this point in the game. And he'll be a pretty damn big in this next fight. Although they do have the Halberd for him, not sure that they can bring him down with another cover of Songes.
Absolutely. He's going to have to be their last target. There's no way that they could even touch him with any teammates around him. So they're going to have to try to wipe every single one of his teammates, leave them all alone, and then go for him. Huskar is going to be able to get this. There we go. That worked out pretty good for them last time. Huskar was alive for quite a long time on that last engagement with the Aegis. They're looking to see a repeat. Now, do you think they'll just go right down the mid, maybe, and go for the win? I mean, it's coming to that time where you have to do something risky like that.
Yeah, interestingly...
Wow, Medusa's in the middle of nowhere. That would have been a great jump, sorry.
Yeah, they're not saving buyback on the Huskar. He bought this Talisman of Evasion, so actually maybe they look to farm up this quarterstaff, get the full Butterfly, and go right for the base with the Aegis. So he just walked by a bounty rune, a little bit interesting. I'm going to leave that for one of his teammates, but either way, should have the full Butterfly up here soon. And with the Halberd as well as the Butterfly, he's going to have a lot of effective HP with all that evasion, so that'll be nice up against the Dusa. He also has the Halberd to momentarily deal with that Dusa as well. So yeah, I feel like this is really the only moment Ape has. Later they take this, the more worrisome it certainly will be for them. CYS's Ember Spirit, 2100 gold in addition to his Battle Fury, so not the scariest target, 5k behind both the Huskar and the Sniper at this point, but eventually he'll come online as well. And with how well HFN is farming, they certainly need to look to end this pretty soon. So look for this item to fly out to Huskar on the courier now, and then to go high ground with the Aegis.
I'm looking at it. There it goes. It's going. It's almost there. Excellent. Meanwhile, the teams posture up. They're in the bottom. Looks like they want to actually do a bottom push instead of going for the win here. Most of the other team is hiding in the jungle for some reason. I don't know what that's about. I don't want to know.
Looking for someone to push the lane out, perhaps, and pick them off with the blink from the Lion. Yeah, Cat is up there. But they'll blink out of the trees, look to push the lane in, pressure it a bit. Meanwhile, they're going to have to TP back. Do they all have TPs available? They do. So everyone from the Radiant side has TPs available. Dan going to already start chipping at this tier 3, though. And they can't really look to make a trade. Because the push is a lot quicker at this point from Ape. Jump forward, lasso is on to Confessor. He's got the Aegis, however, and he will look to fight up in this. Relocate back into a double hoof stomp, double edge there as well. Plock getting very low on the Wisp. He's going to be blown up here, presumably. Stone Gaze is going to freeze up Confessor, however. He's going to take a lot of damage here, but will be able to life break forward onto CYS. CYS going to have to remnant out. Nice swap back from Banana King. They'll get the tier 3 Confessor. Still very healthy. Blink forward, hoof stomp. Double edge going to finish off the Lion. He's down with no buyback for 40 seconds. And that's a big, big win for Ape. They get a free lane of racks. Jump forward, life break onto HFN. 5 seconds until the Halberd is up. There's no Stone Gaze there. There's the hoof stomp. He's dropping very low is the Medusa. Halberd available. Double edge finishes him off. Instant buyback from the Medusa. Yugi going to get healed up by the Abaddon. He'll be just fine. Confessor going to look to do as much damage as he can while he still has this Aegis. CYS dropping very low. He'll be able to use the inner Vit, keep himself up for now. The evasion doing so much work against HFN. Wow, English. And he'll just stand here. He's jumping into the fountain with 50% evasion. He'll bring down the Ember Spirit before dying. They can swap him back out if need be. Instant buyback, though. Confessor is going to get swapped back by the Venge. And he'll be just fine for now. He's going to get Searing Changed up. He will life break into CYS. He's the only one left from the Ape side, but he is manning up. The most manly Huskar I've ever seen in the pit now is going to finally fall. But they bring 2 lanes of racks down overall for their Huskar, and Ape looking very good at this point. It cost HFN a lot as well, using that buyback on the Medusa, buyback on the Ember Spirit as well, so they don't even lose much farm for that. And overall, Sniper picks up a BKB too.
Talk
KB.
about making space. How
Yeah.
long was that guy fighting for? That was like a 3-minute long solo Huskar battle there. And his teammates just cleaned house while he was doing that. The mid, the bottom, both barracks are gone. That's exactly what Team Ape need to do to stay in this game. Force a huge fight. They did it, and they have succeeded so far. However, Team RBD does still have Deucey.
Yeah.
Deucey can come back in the most dire of circumstances with the most fabled of Dota 2 items. Perchance she may purchase the Divine Rapier.
Yes, we could definitely see a rapier in this one, and perhaps that's the only way they come back at this point. There is a halberd, however, as we mentioned before, so the Medusa has been shut down more often than not in these engagements. Also, no buyback available to her, a little bit scary. Relocate top lane out onto Dan. Kind of a big kill going down for Ape. Not sure exactly what he was doing out there by his lonesome, but this Cliff Ward certainly paying off for the Radiant side, and they'll get Dan down. Perhaps they look to even out one of these lanes, but actually no. Gonna relocate back to Medusa to continue farming away.
Indeed, indeed. The Huskar does live, though, so they know that they can't really push that hard into it. Huskar was soloing their entire team for quite a while, so they're going to have to wait until they get a nice pick on Huskar before they can really take an objective. That gives Sniper plenty of time to come back. They're going to lick their wounds and have a few thoughts here.
Yeah, Yugi gonna be able to blink out bottom lane and TP away. There was really no danger inbound for him, but either way, playing it safe, especially after the advantage they just accrued. Let's take a look at the metrics after those couple of fights. 10k net worth lead generated here by the side of Apezone, and experience still about at parity, but certainly a nice one for them to finally gain an advantage on, and they have really caught up with the Medusa in terms of net worth.
Well, here is a nice initiation on Leposia. She is being knocked out by the Yugi. Go, Yugi, go! And whoa, Mescoil barely making it out. Lion says, leave my bat alone! And he is going to forfeit his life for the Bat Rider. Was it worth it? I don't know.
There was a buyback on the Bat Rider, and there is a buyback on the Lion as well, so not the biggest deal. I guess a slightly less valuable target was the Lion, so Cat being the noble one there. Still, the last outer tier tower is available for Ape to aggress on if they choose to do so. They're waiting for Dan to join the fray, and they should be able to take down this tier 2 in the top lane. The units will be running up that mid lane. DD Rune is available onto Confessor as well, and perhaps they just look to find some pickoffs. Right for the tier 4s they go. Gonna force the buyback out from Lion and then just back off. Pretty smart play from Dan. There was only 16 seconds left on the respawner there from Lion, but they force his buyback out. Going to be content with their spoils here. Roshan still not going to spawn for at least a minute.
Suckers!
Pretty much.
They got that Lion. They had no intention of going in, so there we go. Lion buyback. Now they know they can kill him next time, and they won't have to deal with that super support. And that will be it. Really impressed by the Lion plays this game, by the way. Just, he's always on point, sacrificing himself for his lesser teammates. That's really good stuff.
Yeah, HFN a little bit vulnerable in this top lane. Stampede forward. They are going to find Plock, and Plock probably going to go down here. Oh, the travesty of the Wisp going down. HFN has a TP. Yeah, so he'll be able to make it out. Team leader definitely eliminated here. 50 seconds, no buyback.
No buyback, no hope, no mercy. They're going to go for that top tower. They don't have any creeps, and they're going to just try to hit it down. They're absolutely going to be able to do that with that amount of damage, and Medusa was really hoping that that would not be the case. No worries, Mystic Snake! Moving up at the top as she tries to push, and it ain't going to happen. These guys are going to go straight in. Looks like she did force one person TP back. She forced Ye Old Vengeful Spirit, who's going to scream at her and maybe prevent a TP. Go, Venge, go! Go, Venge, go! No. And that's it. They're going to let her TP out.
Yeah, nighttime vision didn't see the Dusa there. So. Give me your best Vengeful Spirit scream. If you wanted to scare me away from your barracks, what would that sound like? Nice. Very nice. I enjoyed that. Thoroughly.
Can you hit me up with one? Hit me up. Wow!
Not bad, right?
Fucking shivering over here.
Not bad. All right, so God knows me and you could defend 2v5 high ground.
Absolutely. Exactly.
Either way.
Reach on out into the masses. But they're waiting for another Roche. These guys just won't make a move without a Roche. A cowardly thing to do, but an intelligent thing to do.
Yeah, they might find a big pick in CYS, but defensive remnant available to him. He'll be able to zip right out. Stampede is baited out, not the biggest deal. 85-second cooldown, 60-second cooldown. What the hell am I talking about at level 3? And Roshan going to spawn up in 30 seconds here. So Ape well aware that it's near that timer. They will check the pit momentarily. And maybe going to leave their Abaddon in there as a ward, perhaps not for the time being. But yeah, as you mentioned, probably is what they're setting their sights on here next before they look to go high ground.
There's an Abaddon in this game? Oh, wow. Yeah, there he is. Crazy.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any big plays from him, but that's the role of the support, right? You know? It's kind of... You ain't have to be on the front line. You just have to be doing stuff.
Hard 5. Confessor scouting out the Roche. We'll be able to see that that is now available. He's going to jump forward 1v1. What a man. What a man this Huskar is.
He dropped the Ghost Scepter!
Yep.
Oh my god!
He'll probably pick up the Aegis, and that'll be a nice pickup for him. Second Roche of the game, I believe, so I don't think there's a cheese. Is there a cheese? There is. Third Roche of the game. And now we got to talk about the cheese for the next 40 minutes, but either way.
I'm going to just leave it. I'm going to leave it as it lie. No worries.
Cheese onto Yugi. He's got a heart as well. That'll be a very nice item for him. Perhaps we don't see him die for once on Kappa. But either way, jump forward.
Oh, no.
There's the hoof stomp. Lion blown up. And that is the force of the buyback. He's got no buyback available. So Cheeky Play going to pay off there for Ape. They're going to look to put some damage into this final standing tier 3, and they'll take it completely uncontested. Jump forward, hoof stomp onto CYS is going to land as well. Magic Missile going to be dodged by the Sleight of Fist. He'll be just fine. Stone Gaze is going to be able to garner a kill on the Vengeful. Cheese still available for Yugi. He's looking just fine here. Searing Chain, Sleight of Fist goes out. GKTA dropping low. Borrow Time is going to pop. Glyph out there. Jump forward though. Hoof stomp onto HFN. The Halbert's there as well. Wisp not able to keep him up. 102 seconds without buyback. This is more or less GG, and it is called out by the Ember.
Muy bien, says Yugi. And 250 ping all game is what they say. And that will do it. They're leaving the abandoned. Out of here. That'll do it. Manners, please, banana. Please, banana. Gee whiz. All right.
G to the G, and that'll be Apezone. Moving on to your Dota 2 Canada Cup, guys. This is the last cast, unfortunately, for Sir Action Slack. So please start spamming Bible Thump. Spam Bible Thump. Save your fellow moose wherever you are. Slack's last words for the fans.
Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye, Dota 2 Canada Cup. It was such a pleasure. So many teams we've seen, so much talent, so many mooses, so many awkward conversations. I'll never forget our time together here. Thank you, as always. Mo Rage, please. Thank you to Wolf. Thank you to Love is Dead. Thank you to Bill. And thanks, everybody, for having me. Also, Nameless Statsman, I don't care to talk about. Thanks to our sponsors, too. Say hello to the sponsors, boys.
Yeah, shout out G2AX Fire Steel Series, Twitch, and High Ground TV for putting it all together. And, of course, Slacks for gracing us with his presence. Unfortunately for you guys, you're going to have to see some more of me. Last series of the day and the main qualifiers coming up here next with me and Wolf Dota. So that will be Hot Hands Hand Warmers versus Black Sheep. Any thoughts on that last matchup?
Oh my god, really? Sorry. Those teams are freaking great. Both those teams. That's going to be one hell of a match. I'm going to stick around and watch some of that. Oh my god.
Yeah, so
Hot
hopefully
Hands Warmers and Black Sheep?
we can get a tri-cast going or something along those lines.
No. This is your town now. I'm done. The cheese was still not eaten by Centaur.
Yeah, no love for the cheese today at all. Definitely not some cheese connoisseurs in these Dota players. But yeah, either way, guys, be sure to check out Sir Action Slacks at Sir Action Slacks on Twitter. I'm sure you'll be streaming at some point tonight, twitch.tv/Sir Action Slacks. So definitely always a good time, guys. And we appreciate you joining us. As we mentioned, going to have another series coming up. Is scheduled for 7:45, so it was scheduled for 10 minutes ago. So probably a small delay. I'll just leave you on the wait screen, and then we'll be over for the last series of the day.
Yay! Bye!
GG, guys.